Howdy, people. See how sunny it is and everything? Wow, the weather has been so changeable for the last few days. I always talk about it. Oh, there's my mail lady across the street. She always gets 20 euros from us every year, with pleasure. January is when you give the tips here in France. And they don't send Christmas cards here. They send January cards, which are very small and simple, and they just kind of look like a business card, and they let people know that you're still alive. And if you don't get a card back, it means the person doesn't want to know you anymore, usually, or they're dead. Yeah, I mean, I've told you this before, and I'll tell you this again. You know, visit Paris, have a good time here, but I think it was Saturday. Yeah, it was Saturday. We went into Paris to see a movie, and we had like 3 violent rainstorms. You know, it was like raining sideways, and then 15 minutes later it was like all beautiful, and we saw rainbows and stuff. And that is really, really, really typical for here. I don't, for about almost 7 years now, I have taken Mondays off. I'm getting older and I have a little more flexibility in my life, so Mondays are kind of a down day for me. And also because I live in Saint-Denis and most of the city takes Mondays off, I just kind of went with the flow. I find it very pleasant, so that's why I'm home today. I have to get out and do stuff tomorrow and continue with what I hope is a normal life. I got a little story for you that might seem really rude, but I'm going to tell you, and maybe I'll post it. I don't know. These are hard-boiled eggs. I find that I always need these. I should probably drain these off now and let them cool. And I like polenta, and my spouse doesn't like it. I made some yesterday. It came out really well. He wouldn't even eat it. Oh well. I've made some more, and I've got a few pickled homemade peppers I made on the top. And I'm going to try to cool it down and then refrigerate it once it's cool, because you don't want to put hot things or warm things in the fridge. And then slice it up and fry it in some olive oil. These are steak haché. You know, the French don't eat hamburgers on buns. They don't really think that that's very cool. And these are frozen. We don't freeze very much, but these are Charolais beef with onion ground in. And they're good and very convenient. We don't have any regular meat in the house right now. Okay, so here's my story. I've had a number of visitors here over the years, of course. Most of them come about 4 times, and then they don't want to know me anymore because they've had their 4 visits to Paris with a place to stay, and then they get tired of me and go on to other things. I try not to take it too personally. I've really run quite a hotel here over the years. People, when they come here to visit, frequently overindulge in cheese, wine, bread. I tell them not to drink the tap water. They do it anyway. It frequently makes them rather ill. Of course, in most of France, the tap water is okay, but when you travel, a change in the tap water, it's just different. I mean, the minerals are different. Here in Paris, well, it's funny because in some of the most posh neighborhoods, they can't even drink the tap water. The pipes are old and stuff. You know, oldest parts of the city, the fanciest, the most expensive. But you know, when you travel, the climate's going to be different, the water and everything, so you really got to take it easy. And I've had friends here just go nuts on wine and cheese and bread and tap water, and they've gotten pretty sick. I've had to take them to the pharmacy, and sometimes they got real sick and missed their flights and stuff, and that was kind of a drag. I had this friend from New York who came here 4 times and then decided that after more than 20 years of friendship, an overseas friendship was too onerous for her to continue, so we're not in touch anymore. She did get me to send her a bunch of fancy soaps and ambergris and stuff, and she stiffed me for the payment, always boasting about her 6-figure income at a hedge fund. But whatever, I don't know her anymore. Anyway, she drank too much wine here and ate too much cheese, and she got a really bad yeast infection. And we were near Trocadero, and she confessed to me that she was really suffering. So I said to her, "Oh honey, you should have told me earlier. I'll just take you to a pharmacy and we'll get you something for that. Don't worry, because the prices are quite subsidized here, and I doubt it'll cost you much money. Without a doctor's appointment, you're going to have to pay cash and you won't get reimbursed, but don't worry about it, because over here the pharmacists are like doctors, you know. Actually, a lot of people in France tell their pharmacists more personal health information than they even bother telling their doctors. And the pharmacists can give you their opinion, and they can't actually prescribe anything, but they can direct you to a doctor if you need a prescription, but there's a lot that they can sell you over the counter. So my friend was so uptight. She said, "Don't tell the pharmacist that I have a yeast infection, you know, a vaginal infection, a very bad one." And I said, "Yeah, but it's a female pharmacist, and also here in France, we tell our pharmacists everything." And she said, "No, please don't." So she didn't speak any French. So I said to the lady pharmacist, I said, "Bonjour madame, excusez-moi, ma copine américaine est ici en visite en France, et elle a trop bu, trop de vin, trop de fromage, et maintenant, franchement, elle a une cramouille pourrie. Elle est très embarrassée. Elle m'a défendu de vous expliquer tout ça, mais elle a besoin de ça parce que elle est vraiment souffrance, et sa cramouille est pourrie, quoi." And she smiled and said, "Okay, tell her to take this. She should put them inside of her. Probably the first one will clear it right up. You know, maybe do 2 or 3 more. She can do the whole treatment if she wants. It's about €8. What's wrong with your friend?" And I said, "Well, she's American. She's Irish, Catholic, Ulster Scot, New Yorker, very, very, very uptight. And she doesn't understand anything about over here, so she's really embarrassed." And the woman smiled and said, "Okay, well, here's the prescription." And my friend took it and said thanks to me, and we got home and she administered it, or else she went to a ladies' room, I don't remember. And she felt better right away. And she said to me, "You didn't tell that pharmacist what was wrong with me, did you?" And I said, "Oh, heavens, no." And then she got better, and then later I explained to her what cramouille means. It's a wonderful French nasty word. It means a rotten cunt, you know. So when I said she has une cramouille pourrie, I mean, that's like a super rotten cunt. And the pharmacist just smiled, you know. My friend was kind of horrified, but the situation had been diffused, and it was a couple days later. Maybe that's why she doesn't know me anymore, but I just couldn't resist. All right, see you later.